Kent, 3 years ago, the steel tracks of the world's rail to Great Britain had sped, and to a travel-eager public was announced the all-steel streamlined train. From the offices of the Victorian Railways Commissioners goes the order: Victoria must have the finest train in the Southern Hemisphere. And 1,000 machines start to beat out their message of greater speed, greater comfort, and greater safety. Forges, lathes, huge presses, and a score of other intricate machines leap to life and begin to play a symphony of steel as news of the new era runs like wildfire through the huge plant at Newport Railway Workshops. Technicians representing over 60 different trades go to work with a will. The pressure goes on, and little by little, from a drawing on a draftsman's sketchboard is born a gleaming monster of the rails, Spirit of Progress. Come with us and watch this wonder train being built to new conceptions of speed, comfort, and safety. The life force of this new train is steel, Cortain steel, lighter and stronger than ordinary steel. And here it is being welded into place as roof members and covered with a streamlined sheath of steel to lessen wind resistance and to make the train a perfect streamlined shell 900 feet long from headlight to tail light. Here the beautifully proportioned giant of the rails tapers off into the rounded end of the parlor car, from where the track will flash backwards at terrific speed as Spirit of Progress races on her way. Unless the gaps between the 75 feet long cars were filled in, wind resistance would reduce the train's speed, so they have been filled in with light aluminium shrouds. The wheels must be round to go round, and here they are being tested for balance at high speed. Over 650 revolutions per minute. That's more than Mexico has in a week. And what's this? The original bogeyman adjusting one of the huge bogies that will carry 4 of those speeding wheels with new comfort to passengers, whilst this technician is inserting rubber pads in the already resilient springs to give you that spring feeling, and more of it. The designers of Spirit of Progress have done everything possible to eliminate noise. Of course, they can't do anything about that talkative gentleman in the corner, but outside noise has been reduced to such a low level that you can whisper and still be heard. So be careful. Now here's how they said stay out to old man noise. First they put down a sheet of aluminium and topped that with a thick layer of hair felt. Above an air gap came a sheet of steel followed by cork strips and blocks, and just to be on the safe side, a layer of wood fiber, one of sponge rubber, and finally a floor covering of rubber linoleum, making a perfectly soundproof floor in a train that's without a floor. The walls and roofs of the all-steel cars were treated the same way. Now, Johnny, that's not silver paper. That's crinkled aluminium foil, which provides air spaces in the roof. As a result of all this packing and padding, no heat or cold can invade the interior of these cars. What's that? How do you get on about air? Well, we'll come to that later on. Better take a deep breath. Although Spirit of Progress is an all-steel train, there's a good deal of timber used inside as furniture support. And for decorative purposes, you'll be proud to know that every inch of it was grown and prepared in Australia. Let's have a closer look at it. Now, what do you think of that? Isn't that lovely? Only a color film or a personal inspection could tell you the real beauty that has been given Spirit of Progress by these truly marvelous timbers. You'll find panels of fiery walnut or jarrah, cedar, figured blackwood, silver silkwood, beechwood, and royal and figured walnut, all used with a tasteful restraint that makes these cars a consummate artistic achievement. Black ebony strips contrast with the rich in the smoking section of the parlor car, while figured blackwood panels face the observation end. But who'd want to look outside while there was such beauty inside? Apart from the fact that it must get you there speedily and safely, the next important thing one looks for in a train is comfortable seating accommodation. And the Spirit of Progress has Comfort Plus. Deep, well-sprung seats that give you cushioned comfort and which you don't like leaving even when your journey has ended. Chairs for the parlor and dining cars were craftsmen built with comfort the keynote. And what's this? A terrazzo floor in a train? Magnificent. The next thing we'll bump into will be a diamond-studded knob, I hope. Ah, the kitchen. Well, man must eat to delight to eat food cooked in this paradise for cooks. No, that's not stew being poured out, just insulation for the stove. Well, maybe he's no Rembrandt, but just the same, this painter is creating a work of art as he sprays the train royal blue. Yes, that's the color. royal blue topped with two parallel bands of gold, and it's real gold too. At how much an ounce? To save all arguments, the windows do not open. No, the windows don't open because they don't need opening. And incidentally, you can let go that long breath you took because there you see the air conditioning plant being installed. This very clever apparatus has raised rail comfort to an all-time high. For no matter how hot or cold it is outside the train, the temperature inside remains always the same, just like a pleasant spring day. And as for dust or cinders, well, on Spirit of Progress with its air conditioning, they're as rare as ice cream shops at the North Pole. And there she is finished. Now that you don't. To save you guessing at the size and weight of this giant streamlined locomotive, I'll tell you. It's 86 feet long and weighs just a bare 221 tons. Like other important trains at Victoria, Spirit of Progress is fitted with automatic couplers. At the launching, you can see Mr. Harold Clapp, Chairman of the Victorian Railways Commissioners, and the Honourable A.A. Dunstan, M.A., Premier of Victoria, who christened the train and unlocked the door leading to a new era in rail travel. The trouble if that door doesn't open. Here's the Spirit of Progress's progress impeded by the thousands of well-wishers who are made rail travel-minded by the appearance of this wonder train. And I'll bet they all want to be engine drivers too. Well, there she goes, Australia's luxury train setting out on her record-breaking inaugural run to Geelong. With tremendous drives of her enormous pistons, Spirit of Progress gets underway. And here's a shot of her snaking round a long curve as the driver slowly bumps the throttle up a notch or two and gathers speed. And now look at this. There's the finest train in the Southern Hemisphere going flat out. What's those wheels? They're driving her along smoothly and effortlessly at an Australian speed record of 84 miles per hour. And even the plane from which the camera films the thrilling sight has to find a soft air to keep up with her. That's what I'd call streamlined rail travel par excellence. At every stopping place, people in their thousands have flocked to inspect this wonder train. And small boys have had to fight their dads for first look in the driver's cabin. Commissioned on a Melbourne to Albury run in November 1937, the Spirit of Progress does the 190-mile journey in 230 minutes. A big improvement, and so's this, a stewardess for the ladies. Here's the regular 6:30 p.m. departure from Melbourne. The bell goes and the crowd responds with a chorus of "Don't forget to write." With a resounding blast from the siren, the proud driver eases open the throttle, the fireman feeds another meal to the voracious furnace, and the wonder train glides out of the station with green signals clearing the way for its non-stop run to Albury. And there's many a person left behind on the platform wishing they were lucky enough to be on board. To watch that sleek, streamlined train glide along, you'd never think she weighed every ounce of 700 tons, would you? But she does. Yes, 700 tons in weight and 900 feet in length. And that's a lot of train in any language. Now let's go aboard and see how the passengers like this new train. Well, for a start, they like the view through the wide windows, the new angle of the seats, and the disappearing armrests, all affording maximum comfort. And they're very keen on the concealed reading lights suspended over each passenger and operated by individual switches. And wouldn't you like to eat the delicious products of this stainless steel kitchen with its refrigerators, modern stoves, and unique air circulation system? Here's where you dine in comfort in this sumptuously appointed dining car where soft lights reflect the beauty of gleaming cutlery and snow-white table linen. Underneath, a rich old gold carpet into which your feet sink with that pleasurable feeling of luxury enhances the decorative refinement of a room not met with in many metropolitan hotels. And now, slowly and reluctantly working our way to the end of this richly appointed train, we come next to the parlor car. The final 75 feet of luxury in this train, luxury all the way through. Here are deep chairs and settees, wide windows and dully gleaming paneling, a fitting end to the finest train in the Southern Hemisphere, and one of which you might well be proud. The Victorian Railways are, for having designed and built her entirely at their Newport workshops, they know that this wonder train fulfills, and more than fulfills, your demands for greater speed, greater comfort, and greater safety. Today, this train symbolizes the finest rail travel in the world, but who knows what tomorrow may bring, for such is Spirit of Progress.